Okay, we are live and we are back with another OBS video, and I'm actually doing something a little bit different today, and I am going to be testing our multi-camera setup. So we have a number of capture cards that I have accumulated over the years that we're going to be testing over the next few videos. And I'm going to be doing a series of live streams just to basically test them out in reality. And what you see is what you get. And hopefully, this will help you out if you are also looking to get started with a multi camera setup and you're not quite sure what to get. What I have here today, I'm going to be testing the Elgato Cam Link 4K. So I have two Cam Link devices that I'm going to be setting up. And as part of the rest of the series, I'm going to be testing the Magewell, and then later I will also be testing the YOLO Box Pro. And so this should be really fun and interesting at the same time, because I don't know if you've ever live streamed, especially if you're looking for multicam. There are a lot of issues that I have encountered personally with drop frames and just glitchiness, with a combination of OBS and just, technology in general. There's a lot that can go wrong, especially if you're using a laptop like I am. So I'm currently using a MacBook Pro M2, and one of the big challenges is that there are really not that many ports to plug things in. So I have three ports that I could potentially plug in. However, I'm using two of them for my docking station, and then I only have one that's free that goes directly into the laptop. So for my setup, I have to run a USB hub, which I have below my desk here. And one of the challenges that comes along with that is bandwidth with USB, and that can lead to dropped frames as well as just, glitchiness. And also, when it comes to having multiple cam links installed or plugged into the same computer, one, they have the exact same name, and so there might be conflicts with drivers, etc. So today I am running my stream. I have my two GH4 cameras set up with two cam links, and I actually went over and above today. I uninstalled and reinstalled my OBS. I completely set up all my scenes completely fresh. I have a fresh audio interface as well. And so I'm trying to give this as best of a possibility to succeed. So we'll see what happens. So far, so good. It looks a little strange on my screen, but that I will determine in the final stream recording, and we'll kind of compare it against the other devices as we go along. But so far, everything looks pretty good, and we'll continue to monitor things. Now, I'm not going to be live very long. My plan is really just to come on, see how this performs, see if I have any major issues. Usually, whenever I do have issues, they happen right away. So I should be able to tell pretty quickly if this is going to be a go or no go. And this is actually one setup that I've actually never done. While I do have multiple cameras and I have multiple capture cards, I usually mix and match. And usually I run a Cam Link 4K along with my Magewell. That's kind of like my usual setup, just so that I can try to not have any potential conflicts that could come along with having two 4K Cam Links together. So just so today I am also running, I mentioned I have a new audio interface nothing brand new. I just pulled out my Mackie mixer, which I had in my, I used for some of my other instruments. And so typically I had been running my PreSonus Audio Box i2. Today I'm using the Mackie Pro FX10 as my audio interface, and also that's going to help me to run my instrument because I'm also going to run live audio. So I have a MPC-1 here that I'm going to be playing a track through just to really simulate what this will look like if I were a live music performer, or if you are considering and you are a music performer and you have music instruments that you want to live stream and play in front of an audience. This is a simple setup that you could also potentially use, but we'll see about, you know, the camera quality. But this is a potential configuration that you can leverage as a multi-camera live streaming musician. So just to recap here, I have 2 Cam Links. I have 2 GH4 Lumix GH4s. So my primary camera is a GH4. I also have one here over my gear. And then I have my Mackie mixer. I have my Shure SM57 plugged in to my Mackie mixer. I also have my MPC-1 also plugged into the Mackie mixer. Mackie mixer is plugged in to my MacBook Pro, and that's ran through USB through the hub. So I have a Cam Link that's directly plugged into my MacBook Pro. I have the other linked in through the hub, and then I also have the USB Mackie mixer running through the hub as well. So far it looks pretty good. What I'm really looking for is, you know, any type of just glitchiness. And you know, I have my headphones on. So far I'm not hearing any issues with the audio, so I'm satisfied with that. Everything looks pretty good from just an audio mixer standpoint in OBS. And yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. So we're gonna keep this going for a little while longer just to kind of see if anything comes up. And then I will also go ahead and play a track in a second, just so we can get a direct feed into our performance here. So I'll be moving over there to that other station. So we also are streaming in full HD. So we are in 1080p. We're shooting at 30 frames per second. Our OBS canvas is also set up for the same resolution. So we don't have any downscaling that's happening. The camera I have set to 4K, sorry, 1080p. And then also I'm matching that in OBS as well. So the 4K, the Cam Link 4K has the ability to stream 4K, but because I do have other capture cards that aren't 4K capable, I wanted to make sure that this was kind of a level playing field. And so I am, for the purposes of this particular test, I will be streaming just in 1080, just so that we don't have any kind of like unfair advantage between the different devices. I may in the future do another test that involves 4K, but for this particular test, we're going to stick to 1080, which is more than sufficient for most streaming. In fact, YouTube is really one of the only platforms that allows the 4K streaming. Twitch currently is largely on 1080. I think they're experimenting with maybe 2K, but primarily it's 1080p over on Twitch. So if you're looking to do multi-streaming across different platforms, you know, I wanted to make sure that we have parity and we don't have, you know, kind of a mix match of signals that we're sending to the different platforms. Okay, so I do really like the visual that I'm getting so far. Everything still looks pretty smooth. This looks just like what I would see out of just if I was recording locally on my hard drive. So far it's looking pretty smooth, but again, I don't have anything else to compare it to at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and show my other camera. So currently this is my primary camera. I am using OBS to switch to my overhead camera, which is of my gear shot. So you can see my Mackie mixer here. I have my microphone, my Shure set up on my first channel. I have my instrument set up on my fifth and sixth channels. And then again, really all route it through the computer going through USB on the back side. So I'm going to go over and start to show you. Let's see what the audio sounds like. And again, this is really just to show you what this could look like if you were live streaming as a musician. So if you were doing, of course, in this example, this is, you know, a groove box. So if you do music production, but this could also serve, like, imagine this being a guitar or any type of other instruments. So if you had a electric guitar, you could also run it through your mixer. If you're doing any other type of performance that involves a digital signal, this definitely could work for you as well. So I'm just playing this track, and the cool thing about the mixer is that I'm able to obviously mix the different audio signals. So I'm able to have my mic as well as the instrument play at the exact same time, and I can adjust my levels accordingly. But it's doing the work for me. And again, if you're a singer, right, singer, songwriter, same concept. Obviously, there's a mic here, which is kind of what I typically use. I always use this mic as my mic for my live streams. But if you, again, are a singer or a guitar player or any other type of instrumentalist, you can definitely use a mixer in your setup and you know, have a live setup where you can focus one camera on your performance, and then the other perhaps on yourself. So there's a lot of flexibility with this particular setup, and having more than one camera and more than one capture card to be able to build out your live stream so that you can show, you know, just a little bit more of a dynamic visual for the audience. So we have been going for about 15 minutes. I've gone through audio. I have been switching through my scenes. I'm just going to switch through my camera scenes here just to kind of show you what this looks like. And yeah, I think this is going to be our test for our two Cam Link devices. I really want to look at, the things that I want to make sure that we pay attention to are, is there any type of like glitchiness that's happening with the audio? Are we staying in sync? Are there any type of, artifacts that are showing in the video? And so far, I don't see that. But again, what I'm going to do is after I do a similar comparison with the Magewell as well as the YOLO Box Pro, I will do a full compilation video just to show the footage side by side. So if you're interested in coming along on this journey with me over the next day or two, stay tuned and like and subscribe, and I will definitely have more footage. I'll come back on live probably later in the afternoon or this evening over today and tomorrow, and start to really show you what these different interfaces look like, along with, again, keeping the Mackie audio mixer here as well as the instrument. But all we'll be doing is swapping out the capture cards and seeing what the results are. I really want to find a stable setup that I can use for live streaming, something that, you know, you guys could also use if you are looking to expand your setup to have these multiple cameras so that you can have different angles and just have a little bit more, pizzazz to the production and not just always a talking head. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon.